Welcome to your Monday mini training. Today's training is on emotional health. Now, this quadrant we're going to talk about is how to maintain positive and healthy emotional health and well-being. If one of these squares gets way too big or one of these squares gets way too small, that's when we get into stress and we get into burnout and resentment and overwhelm and all of those things that we don't want to get into. And eventually it can lead to really negative results over time and not being able to handle our life at all. And so what we want to do is to be kind of thinking in our mind about all of these quadrants, all of these sections within the quadrant, and maintaining a healthy balance between all. This is what good self-care is going to look like, is taking care of all four aspects of ourself: social, intellectual, spiritual, and physical. Now, with spiritual, you don't have to be a specific faith in order to have spiritual health. This can be like meditation practices, awareness practices, whatever your belief is, that's going to help. So with social, it's going to look things like spending time with your friends. Maybe it's serving within your community, being connected with things that are going on in your community, taking time to really manage that social aspect of your life. Intellectual, learning new things, trying new hobbies, developing new talents. It doesn't have to just be sitting and reading a book all of the time. Intellectual can be several things. There's several different ways that you can learn. It doesn't always have to be book learning. For instance, I did a watercolor class one time. I did yoga classes. I've taken weaving courses to learn how to make wall hangings. So intellectual is all aspects of that. So spiritual, it can be like reading your scriptures or devotional. It can also just be developing your spirituality. Like, what do you believe, and working on that, working on those beliefs that you have, and taking time to do meditative practices or awareness practices. Service can also be tied in here also. Physical looks like, are you eating healthy foods? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking a lot of water? Are you spending time moving your body? It doesn't have to be exercise every single day, but even just getting out and going for a walk, getting some fresh air, spending time outdoors. Those kinds of things are with your physical health. If you're managing all of these four quadrants regularly all of the time, then your emotional health is just going to be really good and really stable. And that's going to help you progress forward in your life in achieving goals and being a successful person. But if one of these areas gets way too big and kind of infringes on the other areas, or maybe one gets really super neglected, then it's going to be difficult to maintain that emotional balance. So just take a minute and think about, what quadrant are you really good at? Comment below, which quadrant do you love and you don't even have to think about it, you're so good at it? And what quadrant do you maybe need a little bit of help in? And I can give you some ideas of how we can add to that quadrant for you.